Hi guys, so I'm here with Kevin Sorbo, the legendary Hercules, and Captain Dylan Hunt.
Captain Dylan Hunt.
All right, first question on today's agenda. What inspired you to write your book?
Well, my illness. Between season 5 and 6 on Hercules, I suffered 3 strokes. People are aware of the aneurysm, they weren't aware of the strokes. And I kept notes during those first 2 years of my recovery, which was long and not fun. And years later, as my wife kept bugging me to write the book, I finally started 2 years ago to write the book, and it just started to flow. And it's not like a depressing book. It brings people up to that point, and then what happened during and after for the recovery period, but also has a lot of great anecdotes in there and stories and chapters written by other people that I wanted to bring in, like my wife, for instance, and then Bruce Campbell and Michael Hurst, who played Aeolus, and Eric Grundeman, my producer on Hercules, to see, they could give their viewpoints of what it was like for me to be back on the set after I got sick. And it was a long road. It was a long road, and I hope this is a book that will inspire people to go beyond what their doctors tell them in terms of recovery, because I think a lot of times doctors don't be as highly optimistic as we can be about our own lives.
Was it your idea to put in the chapters featuring like your friends and family?
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny because I mentioned it just really to my wife to write something initially, because she's the one who was there during the whole thing. She's the one who said we should expand it and said, why don't you have people that you worked with down in New Zealand on the series come in and say their bits as well. So I think that was a good idea.
What was the better or the funner show to work on, Hercules or Andromeda?
Oh, that's so unfair. I loved them both. I got to be honest. I had so much fun on both these series, but I mean, I got to give the nod to the Herc man because this one's a better one. He started it all. No, it was. I mean, Hercules was my big break, and to be in a show that passed Baywatch as the most watched TV show in the world, to have that crown and be part of a team that brought that to the world. It's amazing. And this show spawned not only spin-offs, our 3rd year spin-off was Xena and our 5th year spin-off was Young Hercules, but it spawned, when people copy what you do, it's a great form of flattery, obviously, because along comes Sinbad, Conan, Robin Hood, Tarzan, Sheena, all these other shows try to copy what we did. So it was, to me, it's like, we obviously did something right.
Now, what is the difference between working on a movie and a TV show?
The biggest difference is pace only. When I walk on a movie, it's the same as the feel as being on a TV show. There's no difference. But the difference is the pace that movies will shoot. Movies shoot very slowly. You get a page a day maybe, and on television you got to shoot anywhere from 5 to 10 pages a day. And it's more of a, because you will have 7 to 10 days on average to shoot one episode. Movies anywhere from 30 days to 2 or 3 years if you're shooting Avatar, So it varies from production to production. But I prefer the pace of television. And I also like, I'm at a point now where I'm ready to get back on a series because I'm sort of tired of all the travel. I love to travel, but I kind of want to stay in one spot. And just, series allows you to do that.
If you could play any character, mythological, made up, storybook, whatever, and it would be a series.
Oh, a series?
Okay. Yes, a whole long show. Do you have anyone in mind?
Actually, I do. I recently sold one to Sony that I love to do. I like action comedies, and the one we sold to Sony Studios, hopefully we're going to be shooting it next spring and it becomes a TV series, but I like that whole James Bond meets Butch Cassidy and a Sundance Kid type of thing, So that's what the show is sort of like. That's coming up. It's me and a younger partner, and it's Lethal Weaponish in a way, And it's fun. So I'm hoping it'll happen for us.
And you have 30 movies coming out this year, right?
No.
Or is it 6 movies?
I've shot about 30 in the last 5 or 6 years.
But it's 6 coming
But I've
out
got
this year.
6 that are done that'll either be on cable or they'll be in theaters. People can go to kevinsorbo.net and find out when and where they're coming out. Also, information on my upcoming press schedule. I've got my book is coming out. Please check out my book, True Strength.
Go read it.
Go read it, and it's out in bookstores now and Amazon.com. And I've got a ton of stuff. I've got 2 other movies that I'm booked to shoot. One this year and one next year, and then The series I told you about, the James Bond type of show called Me Too, hopefully we'll start shooting in the spring.
That's really exciting.
It is.
Now, my last question.
Yes.
What would you do in a zombie apocalypse?
What would I do in a zombie apocalypse? I'm a big fan of that show. I got to tell you, The Walking Dead is a great show. They should put me on it.
We'll go send this to the producers.
Really, what would I do? I mean, I guess if that was a real situation, you look at that show and you go, that was really happening. Obviously, you would just freak out. But the good thing is, we got 3 million Americans and 200 million of you have guns. so we'll band together and kick those fuckers. I'll tell you right now.
That is something to consider. No one ever thinks of that.
Well, I think the enemy thinks about that. It's not like Second Amendment. Thank God. I mean, I think there's a lot of countries that would like to attack this country, but they also realize we do have an army bigger than most people are aware of.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you.